Right, what's up, you smelly minge buckets? We're back. I don't even know what I'm saying. Hang on. I have to edit like that. I'm so tired. We're not saying welcome back anymore, are we?
No, it doesn't fucking matter now. We're already in. So.
Well, we're going to have to edit half this out anyway.
Yeah.
Right, another episode of Backseat Chats. Obviously, we open the jar. We get a controversial question out. Nothing's planned. And we give you our unsolicited, horrendous opinions on whichever question we pull out this jar. So, to pick who asks... I can't even speak. To pick who asked the question, always play rock, paper, scissors. So, we get this right every time.
Oh, fuck not. Oh, let's just fingers crossed that. All right, okay. Stop being such a tit now. Calm down, or I'll treat you like a child and I'll put you over my knee and spank you. Right. Oh, here we go. Another interesting one. Are men judged more for money and women more for looks?
Yes. Sweet. Right, see you later. Have a good day, everyone. No, 100%. Of course they are. 100%. Me and Beth speak about this all the time. I don't think women... Oh, this is going to fucking go down terribly. I don't think women fully comprehend the pressure. I'm not saying they don't feel financial pressures. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think women fully comprehend the financial burden a man feels to provide. Because... But I've spoken to Beth about this. She does not understand it or feel it in that way. And the likewise, men don't have the struggles the other way. So just quickly, I've never walked home from a nightclub at 2 a.m. and had to worry about somebody attacking me down an alleyway. It's not even a thought that enters my mind.
Mm.
But when it comes to, and that's kind of based on that, women are judged on their looks, massively. Even when you're younger, we'll go even from an early age, when you're early teens, right? You get a girlfriend, the only thing the lads care about, show me what she looks like. No one cares, even at that stage, who they are as a person. Well, obviously you do as you start to get older, and I'm not saying right now we still solely judge on that, but there is I even have friends at work now, or where I used to work with, I used to be embarrassed about oh, no, Mrs. They used to, it was almost and I felt weird about it, because they feel embarrassed about showing who their girlfriend was because they didn't think that they were objectively attractive to everyone else. And likewise, the other way around, I think men, you feel a sense of inferiority if you were to go out with dinner, for example, with another couple, and her geezer makes 3 million a year and you're making 25 grand. I think by nature, you do feel judged on it. You do. And to be honest, I don't think it comes out of nowhere, because men very heavily make women feel judged for their looks. It's the main thing we comment on. It's the main thing that we care about initially. And I just feel you're expected to, even if it's in a subtle way, you're expected to pay for every dinner as a geezer. You're expected to go all out for, here's the thing, Valentine's Day doesn't fall on the woman. Anniversaries don't fall on the woman. You're expected to really go all out and pull out the stops on every occasion. I'm not saying we shouldn't. We actually get a feeling of pride from this. But the pressure and the burden that falls on you when you cannot do that is horrendous. And I would go as far to say that financial burdens are probably one of the biggest factors in male suicide. And I think I kind of want you to take over from here because my brain's lost its train. But ultimately, I feel like I made a good few points to maybe expand on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things where I think overall, if you think about it, men overall, I think, are judged on their success and how much money they make, and less on their looks. Because if I'm honest with you, the amount of men who I've witnessed out in the wild who are dog shit human beings, but have made their success and their money in whichever way they've chosen to, and they're with not only some of the most objectively best looking women, but sometimes you kind of find that sometimes they get kind of lumbered with some of the good ones, like, because I think I don't even know where I'm going with that one actually, but
And like,
it's a case
do
of
you
like,
think?
I do think men are more judged on their money. Now, don't get me
Do you
wrong.
think it's
The flip
because
side of
money?
that is if you're a really good looking bloke but broke as shit, some women don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
They care
no.
more about your looks
That
than they
in
do on the
turn,
thing. But
I'm not sure about being with you though. Maybe
not for the long
you
term.
hitting them. Oh, so maybe you absolutely clapping cheeks.
Yeah.
But but
Mate,
do
you
you
are
think?
exhausted.
Yeah, I am. I'm done.
It's
Do you think that? Let me ask you a question on it. Do you think that the money is based on status though? So, for example, that it's not necessarily the money itself. It's a man who has loads of money. Because let's be honest, like I'm trying to do a lot of things at the minute. Because ultimately, in a few years' time, 5 years, 10 years' time, I want to be in a position that I can retire, Beth. I want to be in a position where, and a big part of that is like we even attach it to ourselves. We even attach that success to ourselves, that status.
yeah.
You like, regardless of it, you felt a certain type of way when you got this car because
Oh yeah.
because
Yeah.
of the way you felt, because the way you knew people would see you getting in and out of this car.
Oh yeah.
It's
Big
a
time.
status thing. It's every
Oh, I think
and a lot of us crave status, and I think women see that also as a huge kind of, I guess, I don't know, what word am I looking for? A big bingo card in being a provider.
Yeah, I think again, this all whittles down to like something we mentioned before. I think a lot of the thoughts and stuff that we have in our heads have been just kind of put into our heads over the years from decades of how you've been brought up. But I mean, overall, I still think we are in a time where, if you're looking collectively, men are definitely judged more on their status and the income that they have, and women tend to be definitely more judged for their looks. Like you said, there are people out there who they may love their partner unconditionally, or maybe not even, but they love their partner. But like you said, wouldn't necessarily show them off because they don't perceive them to be the most objectively, universally attractive person, which I think is a bit shit.
It
And
is.
it
Let me
should,
ask you
but
another question. The fact of the matter is that's true. Whether
it
anyone
is.
likes it or not,
Yeah,
that
it
question,
is.
the answer is yes, right?
It's
But
true,
my
and
question,
it's
why? Why do you think men are judged more for money? Because there has to be a symbol thing to it. And why do you think women are judged more for looks? Because this is
right.
the truth,
Okay,
right?
so
Like, sorry, I
you
said this, Beth. I'm sorry, the likelihood is if Beth met me and she was like, and this is how we know. I'm not going to put her on this because maybe she wouldn't, but generally speaking, most women, if you meet them, you're like, oh, I work in McDonald's and I'm a cleaner for extra shifts on the weekend. Nothing. Those jobs are great.
oh yeah, well, like,
But from the perspective, you automatically go down in their estimations, and that might be an awful thing to say for a lot of people. But I do think that's true. Whereas they're not going to want to date you as much, right? But if a woman, what I'm saying is, it does make you go down their estimation. It doesn't mean they wouldn't want to date you or things like that. But if a woman said to me, oh, I work in McDonald's and I don't really care about even progressing or doing it, I couldn't give a shit. It's not even a register in my. I don't care what you do. It's
right,
so
yeah,
unimportant to me. But it is important. It does have more of an impact to them than.
yeah. I would like to point out that neither one of us are are successful with shitloads of money or have high
Yeah,
status.
that's true. That's true.
I will put
That's
that out
true.
there right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So I got the pretty girl, and she got a broke ass boy, broke ass bitch boy.
but I would say overall, yeah, in general, this statement is true, and I'm trying to find ways in my head not to make it true. Now, the
Not
thing
to
is,
make it true, but it's fucking true.
but it
You
is
women
true.
suck.
But it is true, and again, this works both ways. Like, it's not a case of women suck or men suck, or it literally is the case of, it's kind of how society has been built that way for, and I don't mean like in the last century. I mean like for millennia. You know, if you were a king of a kingdom, you would effectively have your pick, and I'm not. You would. And I'm not saying that every woman there would be grateful for being with the king, because let's face it, normally most kings back then were fat, ugly, and probably like were terrible.
Yeah.
But
well, this is an interesting thing. Years ago,
survival, as a status of survival, you would put your own happiness to one side in order to make sure that you were protected in the long run.
Also, we're talking about looks. It's interesting, that one, because that's all changed as well. Because years ago, I guess that was seen. Well, it's still looking for it. But years ago, like, the fatter you were, the more attractive you were. Apparently,
yeah, because it showed
like,
wealth.
But no,
it
as a man, no. But even bigger women, because apparently the chubby girls, it looked like they'd be better at, like, but I don't. It's something to do with carrying a child, bearing a child.
Being more maternal.
Yeah,
I get that. But this is the thing. It has changed, like, to a degree. But, like, they're just, it is just a fact of how things are. Like, don't get me wrong, I am not by any means in any way shape. I'm 5 on a good day. On a good day, I'm a 5.
What, 5 foot?
Yeah, that too. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say if
the best thing about being sat in this car is no one gets to see how short I am.
Yeah, I wouldn't even touch the ceiling if I stood up. But the thing is like, on a good day, and I'm being very generous. Like, on a good day, I would, in today's society, be classed as a 5. Probably not even that, actually, in most. And that's not me saying I'm not confident. I don't care.
No,
but it's a case of, like,
is that what you judge yourself?
I mean, I don't care if I'm a 5. I'm a 5. I don't give a fuck.
No.
And I don't think scales should ever be a thing. I'm just using it as a metric in this case scenario.
Yeah.
But, like, it's gonna make me sound like a fucking terrible human being. But, like, at the end of the day, the first person to walk past me, if I do not find them attractive, like, of course I'm gonna be like, yeah, no.
Yeah, but no. But that's women do that as well. My point is, though, like, out of everything in the beginning,
I would say as a main statement, that
out of
is
everything in the beginning,
statement.
do you judge? Yeah, do you judge women more on looks than anything else? Do women judge us more for, like if you're because we even think it, right? If you're like, and we know situations can happen, but if you're talking first thing, generic, like, as a general society thing, if there's like a 55-year-old man who's like completely broke, and they could have had the worst life situation, but there's a lot of people who look at that and being like, oh, that's not right, that's a bit of a loser. But you wouldn't think the same about a 55-year-old woman. So yeah. But you would, but if you see a bit of, like, I don't know, a bloke who looks a bit crusty in his 30s, you're like, yeah, whatever, who cares, man? Yeah. You see a woman who looks a bit crusty, you're like, Jesus, she needs to take better care of herself. I'm not saying you specifically or me, I'm saying, but we're talking, people as a general rule. Like, I think by nature, people do.
I mean, you think about it, you go on dates, right? And one of the questions is that mainly get, asked to me, especially if I'm on a date, is,
I don't go on any dates.
Well, no, I know. Very much. I know, you're a taken man. But, like, if I go on a date, one of the questions that normally come up, or if I'm speaking to someone, they're like, oh, what do you do for work? I genuinely
the only thing I get asked is, why don't you listen to me?
I genuinely believe they don't give a fuck what I do for work because they're actually interested in what I do. They look at it as a metric. How much
respect shall I give you?
Well, I think it's respect. I think it's security. Right, like, am I going to date you in 6 months' time? You're going to be out of a job.
This is the mad thing. And then you have to question them. Are they wrong? Are they wrong for looking at it?
No, I don't think they are wrong.
Women want to be cared for and looked after. So is it wrong for us to put that burden on ourselves to achieve a level of success where we can provide that and look after them? Is it? I know that sounds right. And then here's the other part to that. Is depending on your, I don't know what the ride is, but, like, for example, there are certain ethnic groups and communities where their opportunities are less because their education about how to succeed and become successful is a lot less. So but then you're in a predisposition where you're less likely to achieve that. So then you're almost being like, they're being judged against something that they're at a disadvantage of even achieving in life, which is like, it's then we come to start. Then that's the whole conversation about fairness and whatever else.
I think it's one of those where it is a case of, like, with this, it is, I think, men are judged more for their money and their successful status than being a good man. Do you know what I mean? And I think a lot more women are judged on their looks rather than are they a good woman? Are they a good person? And unfortunately,
overall.
it sucks that is the case, because I know some amazing women, I know some amazing men who, who are either they're doing what they do and everything's good for what they're doing, but if they go out on a date, and this is from both men and women's point of views, where they've come back and I've gone, oh, how's the date been? They've gone, oh, well, nah, he's done this, or he's not like this, or oh, he said I was like that, or she's not like this, or he's, and it's like, okay, well,
that was a lot of likes. That was
I'll tell you what, fuck yeah.
Basically,
I think I'm starting to burn out as
long
well.
story short,
We agree with this statement.
Shout, don't I?
You do, yeah.
Are men judged more for money and women more for looks? The answer is yes. Women, you are money hungry little shitheads, and men, what did we do?
You're shallow motherfuckers.
Yeah,
shallow motherfuckers.
Yeah. Fucking opinion and fact. Blah blah blah. See you later. I'm tired. Go away.